Welcome back to Textiles and Treasures. You know that nagging feeling you get when you have an unfinished project that you started a really long time ago? There's nothing like that feeling of completion you get when you finally finish something you've been working on for months or even years. Or maybe you decide to cut your losses. You realize that you've lost interest in the project entirely. Maybe you just don't have the resources that you did to finish it, and so then you just give it up. If you end up deciding that you're not going to finish the project, it may feel a little better to pass it on to someone else who will. In this video, I'm going to share the unfinished projects that I've picked up at yard sales, estate sales, rummage sales, and the thrift store. As you'll see, I've picked up Crewel embroidery, cross-stitch, needlepoint, latch hook, and punch needle projects. Even though the original creator wasn't able to finish these projects, it's my hope that I can bring them to completion. Let's get started. The first unfinished project I picked up was this Crewel embroidery piece. I found this unfinished embroidery project at a rummage sale, and I decided that I was going to finish it. As you can see, this looks like a project that someone created on their own, and it looks like they actually drew a cat at the base of all of these flowers. All that's left to do is to stitch the cat, and over the past few months, I have picked up some yarn that I think will go perfect with this design. This project is so close to completion, and I like working with wool in the winter, so hopefully I will finish it soon. I got this project at a $5 fill-a-bag rummage sale, so it didn't cost very much. The next unfinished project that I picked up was this Elsa Crewel embroidery iris piece. As you can see, this will look really beautiful once it's completed. I love irises, so I couldn't resist picking this up. You can see here that the original owner did not get very far in the project. She simply started the center of the irises. Elsa Williams likes you to start from the center. You can see this is where she left the needle many years ago. I bought this unfinished Elsa Williams project at a yard sale where I was able to talk with the owner, and she said she started it in the 80s and then she had kids and she just never got back to it. Well, I'm excited to pick it up and finish it. I ended up paying $3 for this kit at the yard sale. At my local flea market, there are a couple of vendors who have box lots, which means they are selling things out of boxes that they've picked up in cleanouts and otherwise. In the box lots, I saw these two unfinished cross-stitch pieces. These were also attached to a frame and a whole frame set, but I really wasn't sure if they were complete, which made me reluctant to pay for them. Well, while I was browsing the rest of the boxes, they decided that everything was now going to be free. So I did not have to risk any money taking home this unfinished horse project. I was able to find all of the materials in the instructions, and you can see that this is what the project is going to look like when it's completed. This piece is called Thunder Ridge, and it is a super intensive cross-stitch piece. It's a little more ambitious than anything I've ever tried, but I would like to finish it. The person has done about a quarter of the work, so it's going to take me a while, but I'm hoping to do it. This other cross-stitch piece is even bigger, and it is a pair of wolves. You can see the person made a lot of progress on this design. Working on black is really hard, so I really respect how well they did their work. As you can see here, this is the white wolves pattern. So I've got quite a lot ahead of me, but I'm looking forward to trying it in bits and pieces over the next couple of years, I guess. I've sorted through the two projects, and I do have all of the threads, and so I should be able to continue the project. We'll see how it goes. At an estate sale, I found this unfinished needlepoint project. You can see that most of the work is done. It's really just the filling in part that has to be completed. This is a really cool nautical scene, and so I definitely was not going to leave this behind. You can see here that this is a nautical needlepoint kit. And here on the bag, you can see that it originally cost $9.50. At that same estate sale, I also picked up this Sunset Mill Pond needlepoint piece. You can see that this one is less complete. They really were working from the top down and have been doing a lot of the filling stitches. So there's still a lot to be completed on this needlepoint piece. This one also has all of the yarn, so I should be able to complete it at some point in the future. At that estate sale, these were the only two kits that I found, so it makes me think that maybe somebody had already bought the kits that hadn't been started, or maybe the owner decided to keep those. I'm not really sure. But at this estate sale, they said I can't charge you for those, so I just got them with some other items and I didn't pay anything for them. The next day, I came across another unfinished project at Goodwill. As you could see, I paid $2 $5 for this at Goodwill. This is a cross-stitch piece that has a wooden backing. It's a Hutch, and I was pretty excited to find this because it looks really neat. You can see that the original maker had actually done a lot of work on this piece. They completed much of the middle and started in on the bottom. There's still a lot to do, but I think this will be a really fun one to work on, so I'm looking forward to it. Over the summer, I picked up 2 different people's entire cross-stitch collections. One was at a yard sale, and the woman said that her eyes had gone and she just hadn't had a chance to finish them, and the other was at an estate sale where the woman unfortunately passed but left everything super well organized. I still have to sort through what I picked up at those 2 sales, and I think there's some unfinished projects that I will definitely be adding to my list. You'll be able to find links to those videos in the description. At another estate sale, I found this bag that doesn't look like very much, but looks special to me because it says Elsa Williams Needlecraft. Like the iris piece, this has just barely been started, just the very top of one of the pansies. I was able to do some research and find completed versions of this kit on the internet. Even though it got separated from its instructions, it does have all of the yarn. And lucky for me, I was able to find the instructions in a kit that was for sale at an antique store, so I took some pictures so I'll be able to follow the instructions. I got this bag with the incomplete project with a couple of other small items at an estate sale, and I probably paid 50 cents for it. At another estate sale, I picked up this incomplete latch hook project. As you can see here, this is Santa, and this piece is so close to completion. It is definitely supposed to be a semicircle, and it looks like all that is left is Santa's cap. I could not leave this latch hook project behind. It just made me so sad that it was so close to completion. Lucky for me, all of the supplies are still there, as well as the instructions, so I will be able to complete this, and I'm hoping to do it this December. It's the perfect time of the year to complete Santa. At this estate sale, I ended up paying $5 for this incomplete project, as well as some other canvas and some other latch hook yarn. One of the things I love best about the flea market is chatting with all of the vendors. At my local flea market, there are the regulars, and then there are the people who are trying to sell off some of their items. I met a woman who was trying to sell off her unfinished cross-stitch projects, and I ended up picking up 2 of them. This project is just a simple sampler, and you can actually see where the hoop was. This was actually barely started and not very well done, so I've already taken out the thread, and I'm going to complete this sampler starting from the beginning. This is just a simple sampler, and I ended up picking it up because she wanted to sell it with the other piece. It was still worth it because I got this hoop as well as this one. She was a little further along in this cross-stitch piece, and there's still a lot to do. This is also a sampler, and samplers aren't really something that I'm likely to start doing. What I liked about this one is that the design is already printed on the fabric, so I don't have to start from scratch, and this is a little different than cross-stitch fabric. It's pre-printed on the fabric. You can see she made some progress. There is a little staining on this project, but I think it will come out with some linen wash once it's complete. As you can see, this is also an Elsa Williams cross-stitch project, and that's why I decided to get it. She was going to charge $5 for it. Then she said if I paid $6, I could take them both. And so I decided why not, because I got some hoops with it, as well as all of the materials, and it's also just really fun to be able to take somebody's project and tell them that you'll complete it someday. I went to a craft yard sale that turned out to be a family-run estate sale. The mother had unfortunately passed, and she was a super avid crafter. I'll share everything I found at that yard sale in another video, but I do want to show you these punch needle projects. This case held all of her punch needle projects and materials. Punch needle is one of those fiber arts that I don't have experience with, but I'm definitely interested in learning about. As you can see, she started working on this project and got pretty far through it. The back side is actually the side you want to look at when it comes to punch needle. She also started working on this Christmas punch needle piece. This is what it will look like when done, and you can see it is a gingerbread man. Here is a snowman, and here is a candy cane. These punch needle pieces are called Holiday Hang-Ups by Lizzie and Kate. In the case, there are also a bunch of punch needle designs, some of which are some complete sets. I still have to sort through this and take a look at what I'm going to work on. Here's the punch needle that was inside the case, and you can see that she was going for the next color on one of those pieces. I'm looking forward to working on this punch needle project over the holidays, and I know that the son was excited that I was going to finish his mom's projects. The last 2 unfinished projects that I'm going to show you are these 2 Jiffy Stitchery Crewel kits. This one has actually not been started, but that one looks pretty cool. This one is so close to completion. It's got that 70s vibe, but I really like the way the stitching was done, and I think it'll be fun to complete. I ended up paying 50 cents a piece for these kits at a rummage sale. So there you have all the unfinished projects that I've thrifted over the past year. As I mentioned, I probably have a few more of them, but these are the ones I want to focus on first. If you're interested in hearing how I got started with embroidery, cross stitch, and other fiber arts, check out the link to the video I've included in the description. If you're interested in hearing about other makers who are finishing other people's unfinished projects, be sure to check out the Rita's quilt story. It's a really cool story. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever thrifted other people's unfinished projects and completed them yourself? Or did this inspire you to get working on some of those unfinished projects that are lingering in your stash? Leave a comment and let me know. I'm looking forward to working on these projects and helping the original makers get an energetic sense of completion. Hopefully I'll make some progress over the next couple of months and be able to show you the now completed projects. Thanks again for stopping by my channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Have a good one. Goodbye.